that's what this year-long process will, I think, get us to that point, that then we can take a document, and whoever's in those leadership roles, whether they're elected officials, whether they're part of a foundation, whether they're private developers, that we can say, this is what we would like to see happen. And here's a component that we think that you can help us fill and meet that goal and objective that we as a community came up with. We also, at that point in time, the three of us had decided we were the funding sources, but who else really needed to be involved in that initial process and what we have now are calling the management team. And that management team, we decided we needed to have the adopting bodies, and that would then include Marta Moody, who's with our planning office for the city and the county. And then also, we have representation from City Council, Linda Gregory. And so we decided those are the funding bodies, these are the adopting bodies, that we could be the management team to get this process started. Then we just started the process of selecting the vendor. And we tried to keep this as open and as transparent as possible for all of the public, because I did not want this to be the mayor's plan, as I didn't want it to be Ivy Tech's plan, and I didn't want it just to be community development, because there were many components to this. So we tried to be as transparent and as open as possible. We worked with a vendor to help us even get that process started for an RFQ, who ultimately wasn't even involved in the selection process. And as we came down to determining, we did have an initial packet of materials we received from 11 vendors, I believe. Narrowed that down to 4 to come to the community and present to us, and we opened that up to the public. And then ultimately the management team came back together and then went through a vetting process once again, and then made the decision on who we would select as the vendor for this project. Ultimately, then we ended up with ACP. And ACP has met with us on several occasions. They have now toured our community. A 2-hour trip, not a very long one, but enough to kind of give them an overview of the community. And then helping us then as we move this process forward. In one sense, we are moving it forward kind of quickly. Sometimes these plans take 2 years to develop. Connie has a need where we have some deadlines through community development that we have to meet for HUD funding. And so we felt that that really was a priority, and that we were trying to get this narrowed down to a year-long process. We've actually tried to move it back even to 9 months, knowing that it may take us a year to get that done. So we are kind of fast-lining some of these things that we're going to be participating in. But all of you, when we sat down and came up with a list of names, all of you here in this room were all people that we felt were very interested in the community that could help with this process, because ultimately this is a community plan. I recognize that there are people in the community who would not participate because they wouldn't want to do anything that makes my office look good. And I'm okay with that. This isn't about me. This is about Muncie. And so this is a community plan. This is Dr. Creasy's plan. This is Larry's plan. This is Jay Julian's plan. This is something that we all come together and say, these are the things I think that are important for Muncie. How do we take those things and put them into a package that we can then start implementing, so that 20 years from now we can look back and say, I was part of that process, and I'm really pleased to see the outcome of it. And so I thank all of you for coming out today. I know there are going to be times that you can't come to a meeting. We all are going to have conflicts, and we're going to try to set this up on a website with the city. I have a link there so that you can go through and watch the video of a meeting. You can look at minutes of meetings. You can see what the calendar is going to look like. So that if you can't be here the next time, that's okay. You can still feel connected and still feel like you're part of the process. And I think I'm supposed to exit stage right now. So, do you introduce ACP?
No, that's my exit cue. You introduce me.
That's fine. Jamie, do you want to step forward?
Sure.
And you have to, it's Jamie Green.
Jamie Green.
For a minute there, I thought, I can't remember the last name.
It's okay.
Jamie Green is here with ACP. They're out of Ohio. And those of you that came and listened to the presentations have a little background. If you need additional background information, we have the original proposals in the office. You can contact Sherry, and she can get those for you if you'd like to take a look at them. But ultimately, we feel that Jamie and his team have the capability and the experience to get us through this next year, and we welcome you and look forward to the process.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you, Mary. As Mayor said, my name is Jamie Green, and I'm one of two principals of a consulting firm called ACP Visioning and Planning. And my office is in Columbus, Ohio, just about 2 hours and 15 minutes east of here, and our other office is in New York City. And for about the last 15 years, we've had the pleasure of working with communities like yourselves that wanted to conduct an inclusive process. This process will have both the benefit of good, sound research, but it'll also have the underpinning of the values of the Muncie community. And that's very important to us, that we have a way to integrate the intuitive insight that people have by virtue of living, working, trying to raise a family in a community with good research. I would be very interested in, and I hope that you're sitting in this room and you look around and you see quite a few faces that you don't recognize. The idea would be that we want to have a diverse group of people, not the group of people that might be involved in everything. So I hope there are some unfamiliar faces in this audience. So what I would like to do before getting into the rest of the programs, just quickly go around the room. And there are a lot of you. I feel like I'm at the UN or something. But that's great. No problem with that. But I'd like to go around the room, and if you could introduce yourself, give us your name, and just tell us, tell the group one thing about yourself that you'd like to share. So Kathy, why don't we start right here and we'll work our way across.
Jamie, can I interrupt you for just
Sure.
a moment? Kathy, I'm sorry. I was actually supposed to give Connie and Gail and Marta an opportunity to discuss how they fit into all this. Can we
Okay.
do that?
I don't have anything to add, that's fine.
Nothing else to add?
All right. It could be your one thing.
Marta? I know Marta.
I'll with my one thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Kathy.
I'm Kathy O'Neill. I'm Senior Vice President of Investments at Raymond James and Associates, and I'm a foreigner. I grew up in Jersey, so I'm in Muncie by choice.
By choice, right? Marlon?
Marlon Creasy. I was associated with the schools for a number of years. We have 7 kids who are all graduates of public schools and our public universities. I'm a transplant, but we love Muncie.
Great, thanks, Marlon. Got the mayor? Sir?
Keith O'Neill, pastor of Destiny Christian Center International Church here in Muncie. Been here pretty much all my life. My parents were educators and just love Muncie. Here by choice.
Good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Guillermo Rodriguez, the CEO of the Muncie Housing Authority. I've been here 18 years and part of the transformation, and look forward to the future.
Great, thanks, Guillermo. Marta?
Marta Moody, and I'm a transplant. Ball State brought me here in the 70s. I've stayed. I'm the director for the Delaware-Muncie Metropolitan Planning Commission. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of this process, and I'll be able to use this process and fold it into a comprehensive plan update for the city and the county, which is a legal requirement and a legal term that we use. When we say comp plan, we mean something a little bit different. And so I'm thrilled that this process is going on, because it will provide that real, just invaluable information to be able to fold into the comp plan update.
Great, thanks, Marta. Connie?
Connie Gregory. The head office requires us to do a 5-year consolidated plan. We're in the final year of that now, and I don't know where we're going. So I'm excited about this process because I want specifics. The plan that we're using now is just a little bit too vague, and as the mayor said, we just kind of do things as they rise to the top, and it needs to be more specific than that, and I want a visible impact. I want to be able to showcase Muncie as a model for neighborhood revitalization.
Great, thanks, Connie. Linda?
I'm Linda McWay, and I've been here since I went to Ball State. I've been here for 32 years. And I'm looking forward to the process because I want to see how it can bring us more money for accessibility, because we'll have a plan to work with, and I think maybe it'll open some doors for some other monies down the road.
Great, thanks, Linda.
Thanks.
Linda Gregory, and I got on this because Allison Quirk asked me to take her slot as city council representative, but I sure would want to be on it anyway, and I hope you all will have that same level of enthusiasm. We have to do this.
Thanks, Linda. Sherry?
I'm Sherry Contos, the project coordinator for this project, and I'm hoping to get to know all of you very well by the end of it. Also the grant writer for the city of Muncie, so I'm excited to learn a lot about